Afternoon. Hello. How are we all doing? More to the point. Are we still alive? I think we are. I think we're good. Hope you're well. CPI day. So let's have a little look. I have put something on this chart from the DB tier 10k account, which is pretty cool for quick news. So hopefully it's pretty rapido, and I will copy and paste it onto here for the opposite side. And then when the report is actually released, we'll look and see what the damage is. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you believe could be happening today. Might run a little poll. Why not? See what's happening. What do you reckon? Yes for higher. No for lower. Boom. Why not? Might as well ask the question. I'll let you know my thoughts in a minute. But no, good to have you. Hello, everyone. I will try and keep an eye on the chat. It might be a bit barbaric later. But no, I thought I quite like doing these CPI reaction updates for obvious reasons. When we look at this, it has been a bit chaotic already this morning. You can see that very, very clearly in terms of what's happening with Bitcoin already. This is a 5-minute time frame. Good old martini numbers. But what we had data over the last few days has been bad, essentially. So we may well see it not be as strong as what people make out. I don't think we're going to be getting a pivot anytime soon, but we'll see. So in terms of the data, when this is released, so this is the last month's report, sorry. You can see there was some, big areas of change, and this is what we're mainly looking for, the normal stuff. So there'll be some situations where it will be very, very different, and that is where I think people are going to get a little bit worried. The main thing we need to look out for is the core one, in my opinion. Usually the core is a bit better for gauging what the market's doing, but already that is expected to be higher. So in terms of the forecast, it's expected to be higher. That isn't good. So if that comes in hotter, as in worse, or even close to that, considering where the previous was 6.3, the market will probably not like it. Warning. But yeah, stuff like this, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll hopefully, fingers crossed, this will automatically update and we'll get like a new column for September and we can see what the damage is versus August. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Nice to see a lot of people here as well. Getting kind of used to doing these little market up. Random, I know, but I quite like doing them. But yeah, we've got 12 minutes to kill basically. Market's not looking great. Some of my orders I've hit this morning. The altcoins look very, very weak. Which brings me on to looking at the likes of the dominance chart. Not looking great. If we go to the higher time frames, you'll see this very, very clearly. We're going towards this level. Whether we do continue going up today, if the data is bad, is another situation. USDT dominance as well, also going up. Expected that to happen, kind of, as we are forming a bit of a trend here. If this continues and creates a new high, the market's basically collapsed, essentially. But yeah, all is good. I'm good, thank you. I'm all good. Trust my judgment more than YouTube. There's some silly accounts on YouTube still. I'm hoping they go away soon. Personal opinion, obviously. But no, money flow would be interesting. Let's see what happens. Personally, I think I would rather this go up. I just feel that we're going to get altcoins getting slaughtered a little bit. A lot of them are at key levels. And it feels like, you look at Polkadot, for example. A lot of charts look like this. It looks a bit shit. Sorry, I know. But it looks like and reminds me of 2018 with, the move going from stability for a while, potential bottom, into potential downside risk or more movement. As long as you're prepared for it, it's fine. But I think a lot of people are not prepared for it, which is why I think a lot of the sentiment on YouTube is pretty bad at the moment. But hey, it's one of those. My Rose order, not going to lie, if you're in my Patreon, you'd know this. It missed by a whisker just before, literally. $5 order. I've got one of my Rose orders. It's like, oh, you bastard. Hopefully it hits. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, anyways. Today for the Bitcoin price. Yeah. I think we're going to have a wobble today. If the news is bad, we'll have a wobble. Definitely. How would you trade any USDT pair? A USD pair? I wouldn't at the moment. No trading at all today, personally. I haven't traded for 2 months, to be fair with you. Not really been interested. Yeah, there probably will be a short squeeze. I think a lot of people have jumped on the wagon. We may well see a violent move, and then it may well come down. So, if you remember last time we did this, it was pretty big to the upside. It went up pretty heavily, and then 2 hours after I stopped streaming, it collapsed. It massively dropped. So I'm not going to do a 2 hour stream, but more to the point, it was pretty crazy. Looking at a 6.1 core and a 7. No, come on. I find that very unlikely, Danny, because the data that came out yesterday showed that it was going to, that was higher, and that's kind of the big inkling of where this is going to go. And I don't think it's going to move much. I think the main one's a core, as I said before. I think the core one, if the core one is crap, essentially, or however you want to describe it as, or not even close to kind of doing well. So 6.3 was core last time. The rest estimating it already 6.5. And usually not that far away with estimates on the core. Whereas, the overall year on year, they've been a little bit hit and miss with that, but we'll see how it goes. Even if the year on year is decent and the core is bad, it'll probably crash the market because the core's telling us that we're not out the woods, basically. The core's the one you need to look out for. If Bitcoin goes low, or if it goes lower, it's good news and we'll pump Bitcoin. Yeah, maybe. But as well, we've not really looked at this yet, have we? We've not even talked about this. What about what's happening with, bear with me, where's the futures chat? There we go. So the futures at the moment, we have been rallying up a little bit this morning, but this happened last time. We kind of went up and then we just melted. So we'll see what the anticipation is. Right now, it's not looking great. There's not much movement, but the movement that we have had is a downtrend for Bitcoin. So it may be a short squeeze, and it may well absolutely rattle people because I do think too many people have jumped on too early, potentially on shorts, and it's wreckville basically. But we'll see. It might signify more downside if shorts get wrecked, but it will probably happen tonight if that does happen, or it may just all go down and there won't be a squeeze. We'll see. Fresh stink bids in for Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin for me, if it goes like 15 to 12k, I'll be like, yeah, I'll probably start buying it. Buy some. Jobless claims have you impact? Probably. So at the minute, we've got jobless claims or jobless kind of, not so much jobless, but like the payroll, non-farm payrolls like record lows, right? So there's clearly a lot of jobs in the market, but often with that, it's lagging data. So when we talk about recessions, we are technically in a recession. Like UK, for example, is in a recession, but yesterday it printed out the best unemployment rates for a very, very long time. The problem is there's no lag yet, and that lag hasn't appeared because in a recession, companies then feel the pressure of spending habits changing, then they need to cut the jobs. So maybe over Christmas time, if that does happen, you're going to see those unemployment figures go up, and then the media start panicking, and then they start talking about it a lot more, causing more panic and then causing more problems. So we need to be careful of that. In terms of the CPI core and jobless claims, so basically, right, bear with me. So this is a normal CPI, but I believe the core version is without food and without certain things. I think it's energy and food. So there's only two elements to it, but food and energy is removed from it. So all the things for a country to run, all that basically most of that stuff there is interesting. So basically imagine this removed and this removed. All the rest of the stuff, and I don't know what other stuff. There's a lot of other stuff within this, obviously, but this is just giving you a brief overview. So for a core element of it, it's quite an important number because, if say for example used car prices or certain utility things are going up, it's not great for the cost on inflation. Essentially, I think that's how it's worded, but basically food and energy is removed. That's basically it. Previously, you said DOT under $6 we're getting. Yeah, I bought DOT today at $6. Couldn't not, you know. Yes, it will pop. I think it will go lower if the market crumbles. I think $5 in the ballpark, but the whole point of trying to catch a bottom is by not trying to catch the bottom. It's by buying as much as you can at certain areas of interest and hoping eventually over time it turns around. You know, you don't want to buy the first dip that you ever have. You want to buy multiple dips that it has at the same area because that gives you a bit of an idea of where things could go. And obviously, you got to think $55 all time high. It's now at $6. It's now at $5, 70, whatever it is. Mental when you think about it. So, more you buy at $5, $6. You know, think of the people that bought at $40. That's what you got to think about. Anyways, we're getting pretty close now, aren't we? 4 minutes. And this doesn't look good. This does. I'm going to basically take the information from this account. That's all I'm going to do. Because last time I did this, the website's crashed, if you remember. If you're new here, by the way, feel free to hit a like button. It'd be nice. You know, channels are dying on YouTube. I mean, all the good ones are still doing well. I don't understand it. All the ones that are getting people wrecked. Oopsie. So, mentioned it just before, BTC downtrend. This is where I'm a bit, you know, concerned that there's going to be volatility. It may well shoot back up, but it may also just plummet to a new low because what I think will happen will be very, very similar to what happened last time, where it'll be volatile, it will move for a bit, and then 3-4 hours after the stream, it'll be like, oh God, what's happened? So be mindful of that. So we are going to do a live reaction, but at the same time, it's going to be very, very interesting what happens later on. But yeah, we're getting pretty much close to it now. But we'll add a new tweet once it's kind of dropped. So we're not that far away now, to be fair. But yeah, thanks guys for the likes and the love. But yeah, I like to do like a monthly stream every now and again. I probably will try and incorporate more with like other financial stuff, or if something really chaotic happens, just go live. Because I do quite like them when there's something to talk about. Sometimes I get bored talking about crypto. Thank you for the handshakes. Oh God, what else we got? CPI stands for Cash Plummet Index. Yeah, pretty much. Might as well be. It's been plummeting quite badly recently. It's not been great. But yeah, we'll see what comes out in here. Oh, it's going to be rough, I think, today. I think whatever the outcome, I think there's going to be volatility. I think there's a lot of people, as people have said, caught short. I think a lot of people got wrecked long and might be revenge trading as well. It's so much dynamic. I don't like trading in any of the conditions like this. It's been a crap trading period anyways for the last 4 months. It's not been great. We'll try and go to a more fun time frame as well in a bit. So any early warning signs yet? Nothing yet. Last time it did happen. The Nasdaq is starting to move a little bit though. And obviously Bitcoin's starting to get a bit violent. Yeah, I could add another on for don't care on the poll, but at the end of the day, this is what moves the market, which is the unfortunate thing. We all wanted crypto to be its own little belly of thought, really, but it's not. It seems to be going with the trend of the traditional market. I think the bigger the crypto market got, the more attached this became to this kind of area, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, RSR pumped nicely, took profit, not bought back into it. I don't think I am going to buy back into it. I'm going to stick with what I've got. Oh, hello. There we go. Oh, Bitcoin, hello. Someone's got squeezed there. That's a big move very, very quickly. Look at the size of that move. Oh, it's a violent day, boys and girls. It's a violent day. Datas must have been dropped now. Well, oh, fuck me, where's that going? Ooh, bear with. Zoom out. Oh, fuck me. Someone's got punished hard. Massively hard there. Oh, that's going to hurt. Right, mate. Have you got a new tweet out for me? What's happening? Core 6.6. Shit. That's high. That's hotter. Ooh, not good. Bear with. Yes, please. So previous was 6.3, it's now 6.6. That is that's bad. The main one as well is only up by 1. I say only, that's still pretty bad. So bear that in mind. A lot of people were calling for pivots a couple of months ago, if you recall that. And we've melted. Well, we haven't melted at all. We've done the exact same thing. We've stuck. So, what's happening? Some of my orders must have hit now, surely. But yeah, we came in a lot hotter than... I wasn't expecting to be as hot as 6.6. I was expecting at least 6.4. At least just one tick up. But, you know, we got to think about it. It's not going to look great for the next few weeks, I think. The thing with this, right? Look at this, right? This is a monster move. It doesn't look like much, but from that candle area up to here, I don't want to narrow. I can see what it's doing. So someone's got absolutely blabbered here by a 2.8% move to the upside, followed by a potential 3% move down. If you're on high leverage, you're absolutely slaughtered there, especially on Bitcoin. So, lovely jubbly. Now the main stock market's going to open in an hour. So let's see what the futures do for an hour. Could be very, very interesting. But the yields on the 10-year bond has shot up massively towards 4% again. But yeah, it's not looking great. Not looking great at all. So there we go. Let's see what the market does. This is obviously... fuck me. Yeah, there's a... I was expecting more of a reaction from Bitcoin in terms of the upside, in all fairness. I thought a lot of people were short. It may be very, very early to say that, but at the end of the day, like, there is a genuine reaction there. We'll see what the futures do. Anyways, I'm not sure how many people were short or even in a trade. What's gold doing? Yeah, gold's down quite a bit. Holy God, look at that. I know it doesn't look like it's moving much, boys and girls, but most people are on a 500 to 1 leverage account on this, and that would have absolutely slaughtered you. Literally, if you were the wrong side of that candle, or either of those wicks, you would have been absolutely mushed. Oof. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. So, has Rose gone below $5 yet? 5 cents even? No, it's not. God, come on, Rose. Sort your life out. So here we go. Starting to react now a little bit to the upside. We'll see if we get a bit of a bounce. The altcoins haven't really pushed down a little bit as much as it were going, but Bitcoin has massively. Midterms are going to be interesting. Yeah, they are. It's not far away, is it? About a month away. We've got earnings season in 2 weeks' time for a lot of the big companies. Some of the banks have came out not as good. Earnings on most companies are going to be pretty bad, I think. Fundamentals of that, anyways, are S&P could probably create a new low. If that creates a new low, then I think Bitcoin is definitely going to lose its 18k level. Might even lose it today if things go a bit shit, but we'll see how it goes. But no, that is pretty bad data, to be fair. So what we got? New information. Hello. So core elements are... oh god, yeah. You can see a few different changes. Not great. Oh dear. All items up quite a bit when you think about it. Not great. But no, it's one of those. It's a dangerous game that we're playing in the financial markets when we're actually like... we're going against policymakers who I think have made some pretty bad calls recently. I think they've made some wrong decisions, certainly early, especially in the UK. The UK's, I know a lot of people are from all around the world, but the UK is looking horrendous. It is going to breed opportunity. It's going to breed a lot of things, but it could be absolutely great for a lot of people if you're liquid. It might be shit as well if you're not. What questions have we got? Thought and Glimmer long term. Good. Like it. Want it. If the parachains... I was thinking out loud today on my Patreon. Thinking out loud a little bit. Thinking like if the parachains and stuff do well in the next bull market, and they are really, really strong and effective versus what's already been existing now, Polkadot could be one of the main players with a lot of good things. See what's happening on the live watchies. Oh god, the dollar is off. I'm just waiting for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. So this one here, and this one to react. These ones will start reacting soon. I'm not sure when though. I mean, futures market should be kicking off soon. But the fact that the US dollar dominance is starting to tickle up a little bit, obviously it's pulling back as Bitcoin is. That could be interesting if this carries on going north. So we'll see how things go. But the yields are almost back at 4%. Thing was, like, we dropped quite a bit on that, and the crypto market didn't react at all. Nor did the S&P, to be fair. So we'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't look too much at the dollar index, in all fairness. I think because a lot of it is, I think the weight-wise of crypto is relatively low. I think the S&P 500 is the one you want to look out for. We've been following that pretty closely. Apart from, obviously, you can see it now. We're not at the moment, but that's not really reacting just yet. So we'll see. But looks like another 75 base hike will be coming. I don't think we're going to be tuning that down anytime soon. We'll see where they end up. Could be quite high, to be fair. Could be higher than their estimates. I think they've already moved the goalpost once. They'll probably move them again. Doubt they'll go any higher, though. I doubt they'll go to 100. Spicy Ginger. What a name that is. I've never heard of that coin. So, not a clue. There's too many layer ones out there. I'm starting to do the earner portfolio on Patreon, and the layer ones, there's thousands of them. There's too many of them, far too many of them. And they're all on the same network, and they're all the same native currency. It's like, well, what's the point? I mean, too many. Cardano is alright. It's just, again, dilution, layer ones. Do we need another one? Probably not. It's competition. You know, I like to talk about obvious projects, but at the same time, they're like, some projects are just not going to survive because there's too many of them that do the same thing. It's the only downside to it. I think a lot of the big hitters that have done well this time will probably continue to do well because they've got so much distribution now. Even the likes of, you know, anything that backs onto the Ethereum virtual machine. Why am I not buying back into RSR? Because I've got too much of it. I over-risked on it and made a lot of money. And I basically kept buying and I forgot to stop buying. And then I realized I had quite a lot of my portfolio in RSR. And then I took 25% off the table and I thought, yeah, that's healthy. Good amount of stables I've got now. So I don't want to go back into it and just add to the bag even more and put myself more at risk. So yeah, it's pretty good. We need bridge protection from all these. We need more than bridge protection. We need a lot. We need regulation is what we need. I know a lot of people don't like that, but we do need it. We need something to protect our asses because it's getting a bit too much now. It's too silly. Near protocol is good, but I would look to buy it, you know, basically sub $2. Futures are reacting now. Finally. Cardano. Support levels, oh my god. It looks like it's going to fall off a cliff. I have got orders in at like 20 cents, but I doubt we'll even get there anytime soon, so we'll see how things go. Any preference on stablecoins? I'm a bit paranoid. They're all shit, to be fair. I use USDC and I use BUSD. I don't use Tether because I don't like it. At least we can stop talking about pivots. Yeah, true. I don't think there's going to be any pivot anytime soon. I couldn't believe that people were actually genuinely talking about pivots. Like, I just didn't get it. Like, the data was telling us otherwise, and also what was said at Jackson Hole and all the other stuff in terms of like this is where we need to be, and everyone's like pivot. It's like what? Oh hello. S&P and the Nasdaq dropping now. Yeah, Pulse Chain is probably another scam with Hex. Anything that Richard Hart does is a scam. Yeah, normal. Should be used to that by now. Is Chainlink worth investing in? Potentially if they start out staking. I don't like to, oh, fucking hell. Goodbye. I don't like Chainlink at the moment in terms of its setup. It's just a native ERC20 token. It's a bit shit, let's be honest with you. The reason why it's because it doesn't really do anything, which is why the price has been how it has been for the last 2 years. It's been crap. If staking's out there, though, it'll do well. but I don't like the tokenomics as well. Like 30% of it to the team just sitting there. It's like, okay. So that always scares me a little bit. But that's just my opinion on Chainlink. I've not really felt that I've missed anything with Chainlink. I just don't understand where the hype is without a utility. It's just a total, it's just a ERC20. What other question have we got? And yeah, I do think Bitcoin will probably tag 14k at some point. If there's enough fear, any fear in this market, and we drop and we lose at 18k level, we're going to drop hard because people are scary. Not as much scary, but people are scared right now. I think they are, anyways. I think there's only one or two people holding this market up at the moment, and I think one of them is FTX, them lot. But we'll see how things go. Data's already been released. If you miss the data, it's shit. Well, it's good if you're a bear like me. But yeah, 6.6 core, 8.2% year on year versus the previous. We're up 0.3 on previous month on the core, which is the main one you want to look out for realistically. In the grand scheme of things, not great. And you can see the futures have now, people in America have woke up and shit themselves, basically. Thoughts on Ethereum? It's all right. I wouldn't buy below $700 though. That's my personal thoughts. Because I think there's risk reward wise, you've got to think of that with Ethereum. You know, buying at like 1,200, great. It's not a bad area. But for you to get real good long lasting gains, you know, it's a bit of a stretch. You've got to basically want it to go to $6,000 to get a decent run out of it, which is hard. Hex is a scam, man. Come on. I think most people in crypto know that. What project allows you to lock something up for like 60 years for you to get no return on? Not many. It's very odd. And also, if you Google Richard Hart, you'll probably see a lot of information about him. He's taking the piss out of you all with his little Gucci little handbags and stuff. He's openly taking the piss. You can tell. What do I see for November, December? A lot of cold, dark, wintry nights in the UK and Halloween, bonfire night and Christmas. There you go. But if I'm going to be honest, not good. If earnings season's bad for the S&P kind of top stocks, the market's going to crumble because if Apple do shit, look at Apple, for example, the biggest out there, pretty much. If spending habits change, what are people not going to do? They're not going to buy the new iPhone, or they're not going to buy the new whatever they bring out at the time. Same with Microsoft. So you got to look at stuff like that. How many years until a new all-time high for BTC? Don't know. I think we will eventually see an uptick in the market. It's just the market goes in cycles, doesn't it? You got to think cycles, and we're in a bear cycle, right? It's just the way it is. We've had 2 years of fun, 1 year of crap so far, probably another year of crap to come. But at the end of the day, like, this is how it is. So I was buying in 2020 from the back of doing okay in the previous cycle. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go up as fast as it did, but it did, and we had a lot of black swans. Fundamentals, though, if you believe in crypto, you know, look at the low prices. I've already bought DOT this morning. Boom, bought. But yeah, all is good. Yeah, you're right with the stocks. Lagging data with stocks is a big problem, and because the earnings are always on the previous quarter, you're probably going to get the big fallout in Q1 potentially if the earnings are crap over Christmas. So if that's a bad thing, ooh, it could be worse over that time. But I'm just looking at history. History tells us that whenever we have a bear market, we always have a really bad Q4 in the first full year, which is bad. So my personal belief is I don't think we've had a proper shakeout yet. Yes, we have had shakeouts, but the shakeout comes at the end, the big one, where it will well, I don't want to say hopefully, but really upset the apple cart a little bit. And like, I don't really want to shake out institutions and stuff. I want to shake out the influencers. That's my biggest, you all know that. I just want some influencers to get destroyed and go back to working at Tesco and stuff. But we'll see if that happens. Because people can't hold the capital. My personal thoughts anyways. It is technically like, if you're thinking long term, it's all on sale for everyone. Like, if you were here 10 months ago and you were thinking, for example, look at like, I don't know, Cardano, Ethereum, Polkadot, whatever, like stuff like that. and you're not looking at them thinking, oh, that's attractive, I want to buy that. Like, I've been buying Ethereum here and there on my trading account for Patreon for transparency. My main account has got a bigger order in at $700. Looks like a great buy. It could get there. But, you know, technically, if you're buying now thinking long term, you know, an 18K Bitcoin isn't too bad. Let's be fair. You know, a $6 Polkadot isn't bad versus what it was at $55. There's money there to be made potentially if the market does turn, but at the same time, there's no point going all in now, because if $6 becomes $5 as Polkadot, you're in a massive drawdown, and you don't want to be in a massive drawdown for long. You want to try and get, you know, as fair value as possible. This is why dollar cost average at key orders, not so much key orders, but key levels over time, and be consistent with it. Make a plan and be consistent, right? But no, this is why I put orders in myself. I hate reacting to it myself, right? I like to put the orders in, pre-plan it, let it just do its thing, because it removes the emotion, and that's the whole point of it. XRP thoughts. I'll be honest, if XRP goes to 20 cents, it looks like a really solid buy, especially if there's still a looming lawsuit. It's probably worth the risk. But at the same time, it depends if obviously that lawsuit goes good or not. Who knows? Probably will be put under the carpet at some point. Not financial advice, of course, but risk for reward, 20 cents isn't a bad place, is it? If it ever gets there, but I doubt it'll ever get there, to be fair, anytime soon. It's quite a while away. What is your top coin? What is my top 3? You know, I want to know my secrets now. Most people know what my top coin is. Bitcoin Cash is only $25 of all-time low. That would have been all-time low from the COVID crash, probably. And a lot of coins are nowhere near that COVID crash level yet, which is kind of scary for a lot of them. Just saying. Bond yields just financing government debt. At the moment they are, yeah. But a lot of them are maturing and getting sold off. Well, they should be getting sold off. Some of them are buying them again, which is a bit daft. Ooh, BTC 12k in January. I mean, I said that 9 months ago, didn't I? 12k is a level, boys and girls, and I got absolutely slaughtered for it. Hey ho, here's what it is. So, what's happening right now? The yields have gone way up to over 4%, which is probably why the outlook on the market's pretty bearish right now, along with the dollar. The S&P and the Nasdaq have both collapsed on the futures market, which is probably going to panic people, but also create volatility in about less than an hour. And BTC's just dumped again. So things are looking great. If you're a bear, if you're a bull, or a cattle, whatever, probably scaring yourself a little bit. What's gold doing? People keep saying, what's happening with gold? Hold on. Where's gold? Gold is chaos. I don't understand why. Right. I'm not the biggest Forex trader, and I've never understood this one. Why has gold been so bad over the last 2 years when we look at the grand scheme of the economies? Like, when you think about it, gold has rallied up in the COVID crash, right? And then it stopped and did nothing and ranged for such a long period of time. Now it's fallen right out of this range into a new level and probably going to create a new low. When there is some sort of volatility in any market, gold always does well, historically speaking. I just don't get it. So it's an interesting point, and I don't know. Couldn't even answer that. But yeah, gold's looking a bit shit right now. If BTC goes to 3k, I'm hoping that means a lot of the influences have gone. Personal opinion, of course. Have fun. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. If you're off to go and do normal stuff, or if you're all at work or just trying to Skype for like 20 minutes, cool. It's nice to have you. But yeah, I will like to do more of these lives on these kind of days. I might do one on the interest rate hike on the next one, because that'll be coming around the corner soon. Any Zilliqa fans in here? Christ, that looks bad, doesn't it? They've still blocked me on Twitter. Knobs. Matic's decent, but I think Matic, for me, this is the TA from my Patreon, basically. I personally think that this is overvalued. You know, I know it's a bit sideways right now because it's been quite a while since I've done this analysis. But even here, I still think it's overvalued because of where it's pumped. And I do think this, I personally think this is going to come down quite a bit soon. If obviously everything turns, you know, gets a little bit more interesting with Ethereum and stuff. But I'd expect it to go lower. I would wait for like 40, 30 cents levels to see if it goes down. Well, not so much that low, but like I'd go like these sort of levels. It's pumped. It did like a 3x in like a really, really quick time. So Matic's all right though. I do like it. Should really neaten that up, but yeah, we'll see how things go. For me, you know, when we're there, we go up to date. I'd look at this level here, like down here, or even here. You know, between 40 and 50, I'd probably go for, because this is like a consolidation area, and I think we've kind of, you know, a bit of what do you call it? What's the word? I can't remember. The merge hype, the pump of that, you know, it just kind of went a bit mental, didn't it? At work fixing customer issues with wallets. People used to share their like 12 wallet code on the YouTube comments, and I used to think they were scams, but they weren't. They were actually people like just, I don't know what they were doing. A bit crazy. Someone mentioned Cardano before. There we go. It's fallen right off a cliff. A lot of my TA is totally out of date at the moment. I've not been looking at charts much because the market's not been doing anything, but look at that. Ooh. Where's this going? Oh, God. I have got orders at 20 cents, though, to be fair. I can't see it getting to 20 cents anytime soon, though. Could do, though. We'll see. Oh, are we going to go down again? The futures look really bad today. Wow. That's a 3% move on futures. Doesn't look like much, but that's a big deal. Hmm. Not really that bothered by Cardano, to be fair. I've got too many layer 1 blockchains. Got far too many. People are sharing wallet addresses now. Might as well. Yeah, I like Matic. It's probably going to go in the earner portfolio for layer 2, which I've got on, what do you call it, on my Patreon. But I want it to drop significantly before I start doing that, because it doesn't seem to be, you know, it is viable, obviously, to make some good money out of it. But the element of it and the real purpose of making money in any space is buying as low as you can. Matic doesn't give you that. Yeah, it gives you the fundamentals, but it doesn't give you the whole risk reward. And I'd rather get some risk reward. And you got to think all time high. Yes, it could. You know, if it goes to 40 cents, I reckon people will be like, "Oh, hello," but we'll see how it goes. Oh, thanks for the monies. Thoughts on Filecoin? Filecoin was the coin, I believe, anyways, that Tron. I believe this is going back a long time ago. I think Tron got found out a very long time ago with this, because this was getting released a long time ago in 2017, I believe, and Tron was coming out at the same time. And I'm pretty sure they basically copied the entire Filecoin white paper and passed it off as their own, which is Tron. We all know what Justin Sun's like, he's a dickhead. But Filecoin's all right, you know. Like this is like, it's probably not the sort of thing I'd ever invest in, because like the utility of it's like not really something I'm interested in. But if you're interested in this sort of, you know, especially for networking and storage and stuff, it's probably pretty decent. The only thing that I would say what's like the downside to it is probably, you know, how much utility does it have? And it seems to tick all the boxes for everything else. Let me just go on to, if you go onto Missouri, you can get a much better feel for a coin very, very quickly, because it gives you the information. But it's been, you know, yeah, it's down quite a lot from its, you know, its all-time high. It's down 97%, which probably does give you opportunity, but the volume's still high. You know, it's still got decent volume. It's got an okay market. The market, the supply on the chain, sorry, is pretty much out there as well, which is good to see, which you can't really go wrong with. And it's a native token, so it looks all right. The only downside that I would say is obviously look at, you know, the past, because look at this, like when I was first involved in altcoins back in those days, this was when it was coming out. And the ICO offering 154 million, that's mad. But no, it seems all right, you know, like I don't mind it. But for me personally, I just wouldn't buy into it because it's not my sort of thing. But In terms of it's got usage, it's native tokens is what you want. You don't want a shitty ERC20, which a lot of people seem to like, but for me, not great. You want something to do something good. What else is happening? Have we stabilized a little bit? I don't think we have. Should we go to a bit of a higher time frame, see what's happening? So yeah, you can see very, very clearly what's happening here. So this is obviously still going to probably rally up along with these two, and then everything else is probably going to come down. Yeah, I've bought Metis. XCAD's alright. I just think it's... thing with XCAD is it's going against a massive behemoth or going with a behemoth of YouTube, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't like the idea of... I don't know, I just don't like the idea of being totally in bed with YouTube because they can obviously pull the plug on anything, which scares me for obvious reasons. What other ones? How do you feel about investing in the S&P 500 at the moment? I dollar cost average into the S&P 500 every single week. I have been for the last 3 months, give or take, 4 months. I do it in the Nasdaq as well. So lower it goes, I don't really care. It's put my money somewhere, even if it is going down. But it does reward on dividends every single year, well, biannually essentially. Yep, doesn't matter what you buy, it matters when you buy. Do you still like Zill? No, not really. Zill's crap. I don't mind saying that now. They made me a lot of money. They sacked the team because they didn't want to go in the same direction as them. And they blocked me because I'm outspoken and I just say what I think. The thing with Zilliqa is it was like the first shard in blockchain, the first enterprise shard in blockchain, which had a lot of potential. There was nothing out there at the time. And then they decided to go into like NFTs, metaverse, games consoles, whatever they do now. And they've totally forgotten the identity of where it was actually built from. Yeah. And then they decided to sack everyone who didn't agree with it. Like, you got to think of it. Like, since I was doing my first investments in Zilliqa and like my videos, the whole team's gone. They've all got sacked. Well, not so much sacked, but they all left because they didn't have the same opinion of where they wanted to go, which is not what you want as an investor. So, more than happy to take my money and run, which is fine. But yeah, for me, fundamental wise, any project, anything you invest in, you are literally like the hands of the gods of, not so much like the gods, but like you trust in a team and you want to trust a team. CKB, what is CKB? I probably do know this. I probably looked at it at some point. Oh yeah, Nervous Network. Volume's a bit low if you're looking at real volume. Real volume is good for this, by the way, in terms of the obvious. Reputable exchanges. You don't want to go down the shitty wash trading ones. I mainly look at stuff like this. So, yikes. 34% invested. Oh, that's not good. Project and founders. I mean, the supply is not great because you've got quite a lot of them to, investing over 2 years. 15% allocation to the team investing over 4 years or upon some mainnet situation. This is going to go down before it goes up, by the way. Just going to put that out there. It's inflationary. It's got a lot of emissions to come out. Token emissions are massively important, by the way, certainly when you think about it in terms of what's going to get released over time. So we can see here, you're going to start seeing a lot of emissions by certain points. So January, you're going to see a lot more come out. So yeah, just be careful with stuff like this. Always wait for, like, I know it sounds a bit daft, but you got to wait for certain things like this. A lot of new tokens at the moment, which is annoying. Back when I was first investing in 2017, 2018, yeah, great. ICOs were amazing. They were amazing, to be fair. I've missed those days. Us as investors were able to get them. We were able to get the big allocations of us whatever. And when it ran out of money, didn't really matter. But the fundamentals are clear that a lot of these are getting VC money for security purposes only to keep the price up for so long. Then over time it's distributed out, which is where the problem lies, right? So when they start selling, this is why you see these massive big dumps in the market, which isn't great. So, and obviously over leveraged, all that kind of good stuff. But no, it's not a bad project. But again, it's one of those. It's like, yes, it's a layer one protocol that uses proof of work. Cool, but there's how many layer one blockchains now? Too many of them, far too many of them. And it's also native. I'm not sure, you know, how much interoperability it is. For me, I'd rather go multi-chain. I'd rather go with ones that can connect to multiple chains, especially the Ethereum virtual machine, because it's got such a distributed ledger on there. As in, you've got thousands of projects that it can ledger. Well, not so much ledger off, but it can literally get attached to so many different projects. Whereas with this, I don't know. But no, it seems all right, but it's risky. Risky when you got tokens getting bombed on you, and also multiple layer ones out there. It's like, wow. But hey, Moon River or Moonbeam, which has got better upside? I would say Moonbeam because Moon River's on KSM. You haven't experienced crypto until you're 97% down. That's true. It's not a bad thing being down though. You can always dollar cost average. That's the thing though, like when you're like new or inexperienced in the market and someone goes, oh, by the way, just dollar cost average if you're down. It's like, well, I don't want to buy that. It's like killed me. It's mad. Anything else DC into stock wise? I chucked my money into two funds as well. I've got a pension fund with Vanguard and I got an ISA with Moneybox, which is can't remember now. Fidelity, I think. It's quite a few. Thought on Nano. Is Nano still alive? The world's fastest payment system that no one uses, I think. Yes, it is. Oof. Volume's not great. This was a decent token. I remember using this once and I was blown away by it because it's so quick. But it's just not got any sort of like utility use at the minute because no one's using it. You know, it's daft when you think about it because like we think about cryptocurrency as a currency. We don't use it as a currency really, do we? Let's be fair. Still use cards. Kilt's alright. I've never really looked at Kalin, I think it's called, but yeah, Kilt's alright. It's just the crowd loan bug. The massive crowd loan element to it is, yeah, for 2 years it's going to be crap, and that's the reality of it. The emissions going to be so big with VCs, the emissions with people participating. So I just wait and see what happens. Am I a software engineer? No, definitely not. I'm not. I'm just a geek. What's happening? Not a lot. We've stabilized for now, but the main market opens in half an hour, which could be where it gets violent or whatever, but we'll see. XRP is alright if you're buying it at the right time. For me, I've mentioned this a few times now, XRP, if you're going to buy it, I mean, that's I'm thinking like 20 to 11 cents is probably the place to buy it, like down here. If this lawsuit's still there, if everything's still hunky-dory in terms of like the market's still bearish, whatever, you're probably going to see some orders around here for XRP, which will probably give you fair value, which is back down to 2020 levels, which is pretty horrible. But that's the game you play, I suppose. But if the lawsuit is lifted, it may well do well. But you got to think with the likes of XRP, the volume is massive. It's a usable asset. It's actually not bad. I know it gets a lot of like shit it gets a shit rap. The community is a main blame of that. But 365 million volume is actually relatively high. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. XMR barely moves. It's probably because people are fearful of regulations and stuff. Probably a lot of it. I've not looked at any Cardano chain stuff. Is Salah worth more than XRP? Probably not. Don't know. Played well last night though, to be fair. Anyways, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna go. It's been nice talking. I'll be back anyways next month or so doing stuff like this. I do like to do stuff like this, to be fair. It is good fun. But yeah, just be careful with the volatility. I think it could be worse later on when this market opens, so just be careful. Anyways, have fun, and yeah, enjoy.